Hi, this is Kelly. Welcome to my channel. I have some witch cottage decor for you today. DIY number 1, Crimson Garden. I got this lantern at Dollar Tree. I guess it was Dollar Tree Plus. I'm not sure if it was $5 or $7. I'm not sure. But I'm just going to pull this floral arrangement out of here. It's just an autumn display. And I love the shape of this, but it is straight up raw MDF. So you're going to have to put something on it. And I'm just going to take that big candle out. I'm not going to use the big candle. And my favorite trick, the crumpled tissue paper. It gives a great look. It gives you all that texture to pick up your dry brushing with. So it is my go-to. And again, this is straight up cardboard almost. So you kind of need to put something on it and seal it. So we're going to add our tissue paper in small pieces, and then make sure there's Mod Podge on your brush. Or you put Mod Podge down first, then the tissue paper, obviously. And make sure there's Mod Podge in your brush to tap it down, and you're sealing it as you go, so you don't have to go back and paint the entire thing with Mod Podge. And I took a toothpick and marked those holes where the screws were to hold the hanger. And you want just small pieces hanging off because you can just press them into place. And once you get them pressed up underneath that round portion, then the rest is pretty easy. You just keep putting small pieces and wrap it around these posts, whatever you want to call them, you know. And just get it under there. See, it's kind of partially on that post and partially on the underside. Just make sure the whole thing gets covered. And as far as around the bottom, you pretty much do the same thing. You just don't have to wrap it completely around. And get it down inside there. The very bottom doesn't need done, but the outside and top of those little, that square area around the bottom. So now I've got 3 pieces of foam board. I cut the same size to fit down in the bottom of the lantern. And cut a hole out to fit a little tea light. Because I only need a little bitty light. That big candle takes up the whole thing, and we want to decorate it with some other fun stuff. So, and I went ahead and used blue painter's tape, and just make sure it's pressed down, not all wrinkled up, fold it over, and stick it over the edges, and hold them together. And then we're going to wrap this piece with the tissue paper as well. Same thing. Add your Mod Podge, add your tissue, and pat it down. Try not to brush too much. You don't want to brush out all the wrinkles. You want that texture. And again, as you dab the Mod Podge on the outside of it, you're sealing it as you go. And just you want the edges torn so they disappear. It just disappears into each other. You don't want straight edges because they tend to show. And the edge of the tape kind of showed a little bit under there, but it goes in the bottom, and we're going to have some moss and stuff. It's not going to show. But yeah, I had that big opening for the big candle, but all I need is a small opening. But I need it open in the bottom to be able to turn the little light on and off and actually change it. It's just, it fits in there nice and snug by the time I'm done, that you can easily replace it if you need to. Or change the battery. It's easier just replace them than change the batteries. And I've got this little white one. I use one that's black, then I glue some moss around the top of it before I put it in. Then that way, it's already kind of hidden. Little hot glue, add my square piece, and you see we have the opening for the tea light all the way through, so you can get under there and turn it on and off. And I'm just going to finish up wrapping with my crumpled up tissue paper on the bottom. And I'm keeping it off of that little light, like I said, so you can actually change it out if you need to. But you're certainly going to need to be able to get to the bottom. Just keep on going around. This does take time. I don't mind doing it. You know, sitting here watch TV and you can do a section, let it dry, come back to it the next day. You know, make sure you have a dry place to hold it. You put your fingers on it where it's wet, your dry fingers on it, and it rips it off. And it's easy to patch, but it's still. And I painted that entire thing with black chalk paint. This is a little mini terracotta pot. That one came from Dollar General. It already has some nice texture, and I'm painting it with Tuscan red. I also have this little tiny pot I painted black. Here's my lantern with the light in there with the moss. And this skeleton arm, I painted it with a color called Primitive. It's a very pale gray. Then sealed it with Mod Podge. When you do that, it's so much easier to blend your antiquing wax. Because when it's real dry chalk paint, it just tends to kind of soak it up and it doesn't do what you want. So I'm taking a tiny brush and getting that wax down in between all the little joints, all the little crevices. And you have a minute too. Over top the Mod Podge, you don't have to do it right away. Once I do that, you see I'm just going back and blending it out a little bit. And it gives it a more realistic look rather than just the plastic. I get those at Dollar General, and they're sold as a pair of tongs, but they're just little skeleton arms, and it's $1 for a pair. So, and I use the heck out of them. I've used so many of them. So here's my Tuscan red again, and we're going to dry brush all over this entire lantern, pick up all that nice wrinkled tissue paper texture, and this comes out so pretty. And later I will be spraying this with a clear coat, a satin finish clear coat. I buy the Rust-Oleum. It's our Ace carries them, and our Hobby Lobby carries them. Hobby Lobby has them cheaper, quite a bit cheaper actually. It's a white can with blue lettering, and it's a satin clear coat, and it brings out the colors and it seals it. You know, yeah, I sealed down the tissue paper, but you also want to seal your chalk paint. And now a wax finish would have been nice on this as well, but I went with the spray. I didn't worry about dry brushing the inside base there because it's going to be covered up with moss. So while I've got this Tuscan red and my dry brush gear out, I'm going to dry brush the black pot with the red. And now I'm going to take my red pot and dry brush some black. Pick up that had some built-in texture. It was a little pot with a plastic plant in it from Dollar General. And you just pull all that styrofoam out, and you've got a really nice textured pot. And they're just $1. They were last year. I haven't got any this year. These are air plants. Yes, you heard me, air plants. Where have these been all my life? Now, I putting the large one in the red pot, and I was going to put the smaller one in the little black pot, but it took up too much room. So I end up just tucking that in the moss. So I never actually used the little black pot. And I'm just placing that in there with some Spanish moss. These plants, they're a member of the moss family, and they don't require soil or water. And if any of you live in the Fredericksburg, Virginia area, go check out Green Eyed Vines. Go see my niece Regan. It's on Caroline Street. The link for their website is in the description. So we're going to hot glue this skeleton arm down up against where the little, I don't know if you can see where the little tea light is. And we're going to take some moss, and I don't glue this moss because I've got that gap between that little base I made, and I'm just stuffing it down in there. So I get it started on this side, and I'm going to glue my pot in here with my little air plant, and we're just going to bring the moss around there and tuck it in on the other side. I try, if I don't have to glue moss, I try not to. It gets full of dust and crud, and it's easier sometimes to just pull it out and add some new later, you know, if you need to. These are little Halloween fairy garden tombstones. There's different ones at Dollar Tree. They're the cutest things. So I hot glue that in place, and now I've got my other little air plant, and it's just kind of got a little nest of moss, and I'm just going to position that where you can kind of see it. I've kind of determined where I'm going to show as the front of my lantern. So I've got some burgundy and black chiffon ribbon, and we're going to crisscross and alternate the colors, and I've also got black crocheted ribbon. So you see how I did burgundy, then black, then the crocheted, and then another piece of burgundy, and then crisscross in the opposite direction you have it, and just do the same thing, do some layers here, and then the black chiffon. It was the end of my roll. It was rolling up on me. I end up trimming that off later. Another piece of crochet. And then I add one more shorter piece of burgundy. And, or no, that's long. I had a short, that's what it was. That crochet piece was already cut, so I went ahead and used it. A little bit of the black moss. in the center and some black twine. And we're just going to carefully flip this upside down, kind of pinch it together where you're going to tie it as best you can, and tie a couple knots in there. Make sure it's not going to go anywhere. Tie it nice and tight. Okay, now I've already replaced the little hanger on top there. That just came out with little Phillips head screws. And I'm running the twine right through that little tunnel where the hoop goes. It slid right in there, and we're just going to attach it with my excess twine. Just tie it nice and tight. I think I tied 3 knots. Trim off your excess. And then I take the one side of all this ribbon, and I went ahead and pushed it through the hoop, so it's kind of going in the direction I want it to. And just carefully stuffing it through there so it's more centered and it's kind of laying where I want it. And then we're just going to go around and fluff it out, pull them apart from each other, spread them around, and trim them however you want them. And this one is done. Love it. DIY number 2, Haunted Tears. This is one of my favorites. This turned out so cool. You saw me use these before if you've been watching my videos. These little coffins came from Dollar General. I'm sorry, they're hard to find. I've got commenters saying they can't find them. And they're $3 a piece, and I bought every one of them in all my Dollar Generals in my county pretty much. I think I ended up with like 15 of them. And I've already used quite a bit. So I've got 2 of them. And we're going to pluck that little word out of there and scrape all the glitter out, vacuum it all up, and you want to sand, if it messes up the finish, you want to sand that a little bit. And just smooth it out. And I'm going to paint both of these, the entire thing, with black chalk paint. So I do 2 coats on the entire thing, all the way around. So while I'm in between coats that are drying, I've got these little candle cups and these little spindles these came from Hobby Lobby. And there's a big opening in the top of both. So what I do is I fill it with hot glue, just make sure it doesn't overflow, so that it's not, bumpy. You want it just a little below the level, the edge. So now I'm taking some wood glue and I put it around the wood part, not the hot glue in the center. You want to keep a spot in the center for hot glue. Then you'll instantly adhere it, and that works as your clamp till the wood glue dries completely. You can use E6000 for that as well, but I thought it's such a small area that wood glue would be a lot easier to control. It wouldn't be going everywhere and glue strings, and it's just a hot mess. So they're all glued together, and we're going to do some crackle. I haven't done crackle in a long time. I was having trouble with it working for some reason. I did a couple things, didn't work, and hadn't done it. Finally, I'm like, I'm going to do a crackle. So we're going to do this in sections. That side there, I just went ahead and painted Elmer's glue, it's regular Elmer's glue, all in the same direction. And there's breaks in it where your brush strokes are, but you want that. That's where it's going to crack pretty much. And I use my heat gun, and I heat that for about 30 seconds. That gets the very top of the glue kind of dry, tacky. And you want your paint on your brush pretty thick, because you don't want to disturb the glue if you can help it. And it's hard to tell in the video, but you very gently bring the paint across that glue. And you do it in sections. In some sections, the glue will be thicker, and the paint will be thicker. And wherever the paint's thicker, you get wider cracks. So these turned out really nice. And then I use my heat gun to show the crackle. I got really good effect with this paint. This is a very thick paint. This is the vintage. It's made by Deco Art, and it's nice and thick to begin with, so it works well for this crackle. But yeah, if you don't have a heat gun or a hair dryer, I'm just getting the excess off. I'll touch up the black. You'll see how I put it together later. And we're getting a nice crack. And like I said, do a section at a time. I'm not doing the inside. I'm just doing the frame part. In a smaller area like this, you only want to maybe do about 15-20 seconds with the heat gun before you put the paint. And I started to say, if you don't have a heat gun or a hair dryer, you can let it sit for 2 or 3 minutes until it starts to get a little tacky on top. You don't have to have a heat gun, and you don't have to have the heat gun to get the crackle either. You can just let it dry naturally and it'll do it. But you know, I'm trying to do a video. I have to make sure that the crackle is working, so I kind of have to do it, or I don't know if it worked or not. I've had it not work and then pivoted to something else, because you can actually, the paint's still halfway wet, you can scrape a lot of it off and get a pretty nice distressed effect that way. But you haven't, you know, if the crackle's not working, you know, just sometimes you just got to do, just pivot and do what you got to do. Now these little edges here, I'm doing that. You see, I've got tiny brushes, and I'm kind of just dabbing the paint on top of the glue. Now you don't want to go 30 whole seconds on that little skinny piece. Again, maybe 15 seconds with your heat gun, or, you know, or maybe 1 minute if you just do it naturally. But my crackle's coming out so nice. I was very happy with it. So now my spindles, I am going to paint them with the vintage color. It's a blue-gray color. It's really pretty. I really like it. So we're kind of doing the opposite. They're painted with the vintage and then dry brush with black, while the crackle is black underneath the vintage color. And those little candle cups, I found some corks that fit down in there and glued them in, and then created that. You want a base you can glue to, and that had a really large opening. So, but you can fill the whole thing with hot glue, but I thought maybe I got something that'll halfway fill them up. So anyway, so I did that as well, just like with the spindles. Now I put this Gorilla Glue clear grip, it's a lot like E6000, around the outside and left the center clean for the hot glue. You don't want the glues mingling too much if you can help it. But once I put that Gorilla Glue on, let that sit for about 2 minutes and get tacky. And then just a small dot of hot glue to make sure it goes in place. You see, I had a ruler across that straight back there to show me where the center was. And then these other two kind of go in the joints. So they're naturally going to go in place. Now, I'm going to put glue on top of these spindles, and I need to be careful and set the top piece to where it lands where it's supposed to. And miracle of miracles, it lined up for me. I couldn't believe it. But you see where I've got hot glue already in the center of these things? I'm going to put my Gorilla Glue around the outside edge and the hot glue in the center. And I'm just going to hope and pray I get it in the right position and they just pop right into place. And it did. I couldn't believe it. I was so thrilled. I was so thrilled. Like, that actually worked. And you'll see how I have it all decorated in my reveal. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Check out my Etsy shop when you get a chance. The link is in the description. Don't forget to like and share and all the things. Bye.